Sometime after he cashed the check, that he decided that he would start suing the Klan for cash instead of defending the Klan for cash. Maybe it wasn't a moral epiphany, but a financial epiphany. He could make much more money doing direct mail fundraising to the public than he could suing. Criticisms of the SPLC from the left focus on how little it does other than fundraising, how much money it hoards for its endowment, and how much money it pays multimillionaire Morris Dees. Alexander Cockburn described Dees and the SPLC this way. Ever since 1971, U.S. Postal Service mailbags have bulged with Dees's fundraising letters, scaring dollars out of the pockets of trembling liberals aghast at his lurid depictions of hate-sodden America in dire need of legal confrontation by the SPLC. Cockburn wrote in 2009 how Dees and the SPLC were spinning the election of Barack Obama. What is the arch salesman of hate-mongering, Mr. Morris Dees of the Southern Poverty Law Center, doing now? He's saying that the election of a black president proves his point. Hate is on the rise. Send money. Without skipping a beat, the mail shot moguls who year after year make money selling the notion there's been a right resurgence out there in the hinterland with massed legions of haters have used the election of a black president to say that, yes, hate is on the rise in America, ready to burst apart at the seams, with millions of extremists primed to march down Main Street draped in Klan robes, a copy of Mein Kampf tucked under one arm and a Bible under the other.
Celebrate the spirit of freedom and liberty upon which our nation was founded at INFOWARSshop.com. Molon Lave is ancient Greek for come and take it. This popular design combines both classic Greek Spartan imagery with modern M16 assault rifles. Now available in women's tees and proudly made in the USA. And now you can protect yourself from corrupt cops with the INFOWARS dash cam. It's your car's black box that records all that the driver sees and hears. And introducing the Block It Pocket. It renders your phone undetectable while protecting your private data and your health. Or take back your privacy and protect your personal information by getting your very own Detractor cell phone pouch. So get incredibly high-quality, freedom-based products and help fund the revolution at INFOWARSshop.com.
My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only two ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with nascent iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of nascent iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality nascent iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
And welcome back. The police state is cracking down so hard on gun owners that you will have the police called on you if you have a tattoo of a firearm. For more on this, we have Victoria Montgomery of Open Carry, Texas. Thanks for joining us, Victoria.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I saw this article, police called over Maine man's gun tattoo, and I said, I know somebody who has a gun tattoo. Victoria Montgomery from Open Carry, Texas. So what are your thoughts about this?
Well, as somebody who also has a gun tattoo, I definitely can see how overbearing the reaction was to this. I also have a pistol tattoo, but mine is on my hip rather than on my stomach. And like if I'm wearing a bikini or something, it might look as though I have a pistol tucked into my bikini. So I've never had anyone actually freak out and think, wow, that tattoo must be real. Because unless you go to like a multi-$1,000 tattoo artist, it's going to be pretty obvious that there's not actually a gun in your waistband But yeah, I have seen some really good ones, and it's just very interesting that this shows just how much further we have to come as Open Carry Texas and as gun-friendly organizations, because the narrative with the media is now to the public: if you see a gun, you need to call the police, no matter if it's on somebody's T-shirt, like the kid in West Virginia who was in 8th grade had a gun on his shirt and he was arrested for it and suspended, or the child who chewed a Pop-Tart and
Yes.
the gun.
Chewed it, ate his Pop-Tart the wrong way and got in trouble.
How does that even represent a weapon? How can a Pop-Tart even simulate?
Well, it goes to simulate the complete lunacy of the no policy. You know, the no tolerance policy. If you even eat your Pop-Tarts the wrong way, we've seen reports of the kids bringing in little army men or a T-shirt or a picture of their dad. You know, my dad served in the army and he's holding a gun. That's against zero tolerance.
Yeah, it's definitely gone too far. I mean, this man, I believe his name was Michael Smith. You know, he's works the night shift. It's 10 in the morning. There's guys outside removing trees or whatever. It's loud. He needs sleep. I understand. I used to work the night shift, actually, as a 911 dispatcher. And, he's tired, goes out there probably in pajama pants, not wearing a shirt, and they see the gun tattoo. He's not like having his hand near the gun tattoo as though he's going to magically draw this gun from his waistband that is a tattoo. Nothing threatening, not I'm going to shoot you, nothing like that. Yet they still called the police. The police show up with actual guns, assault rifles, if you will.
Yes.
And, it makes me wonder, I'm 6 months pregnant, and after I have my daughter, it's going to be in the summer, we plan on going to the beach. And in a bikini, yeah, you'll be able to see my gun tattoo. Does that mean that SWAT teams are going to descend on the beach because I have a tattoo of a gun visible on me?
They just might. Don't give them any ideas. And we saw the picture of the gentleman. He has the tattoo near his waistband. He also had tattoos of flames on his arms. If he has tattoos of flames, why don't you call the fire department?
Right.
The guy's on fire. Get the guy some help. But it's just a complete lunacy, like you're talking about, the kids with the Pop-Tarts or the kids bringing the army men to school, just any type of thing. We've seen reports of a gentleman who was on a bus talking about guns. He'd gone to the gun show or whatever the week before. He's on the bus talking about his gun, and then they come and arrest this guy for talking about a gun in the United States of America.
Right. And it's definitely interesting to see how we've come as a country where once, guns were respected and a gun was an everyday commonplace thing, which is what Open Carry Texas is trying to do. Our organization is trying to familiarize people with seeing a gun in the public, which is, again, why we want to get open carry of modern pistols passed in addition to pre-1899 curio and antique firearms and replicas. I'm sorry, not firearms, because they're not considered as firearms according to Texas Penal Code. They're considered weapons. But, like we carry long rifles all day long, and AK-47 and AR-15, whatever the case may be, people are no longer calling the police every time they see someone walking down the road with a rifle. So
That's right.
That shows that we have made progress. This past weekend, on the anniversary of C.J. Grisham's arrest, we held a recreation of that hike and hiked 10 miles, the route that he and his son were planning on hiking for his son's merit badge. All of us had rifles, including myself, and we walked the 10 miles in the rain on very busy highways and roads, and a lot of people saw us, yet
nobody called the police. Now let's backtrack a little bit for the people who may not be familiar with the case of C.J. Grisham. He is a military, still active duty. I almost said veteran. He's still active duty. He was out hiking with his son. He's in an area where there's a lot of wild game. He had his firearm on him for protection to protect himself and his son. He encounters a police officer. The police officer completely freaks out, confiscates his weapon. He goes to trial, as Mr. Grisham does, and I believe he was found guilty of what was the charge they trumped up on him?
Interfering with a police officer's duties.
Yeah. So because he says I'm a citizen in the United States of America and I don't want to turn over my property, now he's a criminal in the eyes of the law. So Victoria, tell us about some of the more recent things that have been going on. I know you guys had some battles with DPS. Where's that at? Texas DPS.
Well, Texas DPS has been hassling us at the Austin State Capitol. Again, there's apparently some administrative code which doesn't allow you to come onto the Capitol property with a long rifle or a pre-1899 black powder replica or antique, which is interesting because you can walk inside of the Capitol building with your concealed carry handgun if you have CHL. However, I can't walk around the Capitol lawn, for example, with a black powder pistol in my holster, or even a toy one for that matter. CJ Grisham was arrested again on Veterans Day of all days. We had a lot of veterans down there, and he had a pretty obvious toy black powder pistol in his holster. I mean, it was plastic. It was very easy to tell. Yet DPS surrounded him, told him he needed to leave with his weapon. He said, "I don't have a weapon." And so then they arrested him for public trespassing and resisting because he didn't like the way his arm was almost torn off by the officers.
Yeah, and it's completely ridiculous because we even saw the situation. I believe the gentleman's name was Gary Webb, the gentleman in the wheelchair who was arrested. He was actually concealing his firearm, but then he shifted his weight in his wheelchair, and the officer saw his firearm and arrested a man in a wheelchair. And I personally, just me, myself, at the Capitol have seen 4 individuals arrested: Terry Holcomb, AJ, Justin, you know them, and also Mr. Webb. And these are just the people I've personally witnessed on some of the tracks I've made out there. So, Victoria, in our time left, tell us what's next for Open Carry Texas and how we can keep up with your organization.
Well, on March 30th, we are going to be having a walk in Garland in response to apparently someone was falsely arrested there. And we're also going to be doing a walk just to raise awareness in Harker Heights, Texas, outside of Killeen, with a pretty busy intersection. So we're going to get a lot of attention out there. On April 5th, I believe we're going to be having a rally in Alvin, Texas. And then on April 11th, we're going to be having a gun rally here in Temple, Texas for the opening of the Libertarian Party Convention. So definitely there's lots of walks going on. You can also check on opencarrytexas.org or our Facebook page, Open Carry Texas. Again, we have walks basically every week all over. We have many chapters all over the state. I mean, we have a big group down in the Rio Grande Valley. We have a big group in Dallas, Corpus Christi, all over the place. So there's definitely a lot of ways to get involved and show your support with the Second Amendment and open carry in general, if you so choose.
All right, Victoria, I can see your dog right there. He's ready for you to go. Victoria Montgomery, Open Carry Texas, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And that just goes to show you don't have to be a man to tell them to come and take it. You can be a lady as well. And you don't have to say come and take it. You can say Molon Labe. That's right. At the INFOWARS shop, we have the ladies Molon Labe shirt. So get yours today at the INFOWARSshop.com. Well, that's it for this edition of the INFOWARS Nightly News. I'm your host, Jakari Jackson, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
You are watching the InfoWars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. Members can share their passcodes with up to 11 other people, and your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.